into the land of dreams, where the sun rises with the contrasting color of joy and happiness, where the fog embraces the mind and brings out the internal peace within, and the fluttering of the prayer flags reminds us to maintain the harmony and peace as preached by the Lord Gautam Buddha. The smell of the long pine trees with wet soil pulls the human mind closer to enrich the self-happiness within the nature, that the soul finds the true meaning to be in love with the nature, to be in laps of the most beautiful Himalayan ranges, where the seasonal rhododendron blooms with their immense color, like welcoming warm, broad smile. The chirping of the birds with the blowing of the chilling winds, fluttering prayer flags, and to the far, the rising of the fog from beneath the beautifully decorated villages, the rhythmic sound of the waterfalls, bells tied in the neck of the mountain yaks, the morning chants of the monastery Om Mani Padme Hum, echoing throughout the surrounding, creates an extreme ambience, creates some amazing lifetime memories for yourself. Yes, we are going to the highest point of Darjeeling, the Sandakphu and Phalut, where the morning is wished with the greetings of the sleeping Buddha, and eyes get stunned with the colors on the crown of the world, the roof of the world, one and only Mount Everest. The trek to Sandakphu starts from 2 points. One is Manebhanjan and another is Dhotrey. Manebhanjan is a beautiful town in Darjeeling district which shares border with Nepal. 28 kilometers away from Darjeeling, it is the entry point of the Singalila National Park and starting of the trailhead of Sandakphu Phalut. A town with beautiful homestays, hotels and shops which keeps the trekking gears, reminds the traveler of the upcoming beautiful journey. One needs to get proper permit to enter the trails of Singalila National Park. A checkpost and permit office is present just at the starting point of the trek. As soon as one starts trekking, beautiful long pine trees welcomes the travelers with a beautiful fragrance of wet barks of stems and wet soils. The chilling winds blows through the jungles. A smoky, foggy environment could be felt all around with the rise of fog, which enhances the mind with feelings of freshness. The first part of the trail is through the motorable road with some moderate uphill terrain. One could spot varieties of wildflowers blooming on the trails with varieties of wild ferns. The long pine trees all around takes the mind to a blissful state. One could feel the stories they want to express in their dark shadow. Beautiful fragrance pulls up the body, urge to know more. The greeneries all around pulls the human soul to the state of immense pleasure, away from the civilization, away from the corporate debates, away from the daily stresses of life. There are many shortcut trails through the jungles by the side of the motorable trail, which are a way more steeper compared to the motorable one. To avoid the passing by vehicles, one could take the shortcut trails through the jungles, reaching up to a height. A beautiful curtain of rising fogs could be viewed against the small, beautifully decorated villages. A soothing environment all around could be viewed as if the world of dream, the land of love. The trail from Manebhanjan to Chitray is about 3 kilometers, which is almost through the motorable trail, with some moderate steepness. As we start to climb this moderate steep uphill, the fogs comes to embrace the body, which gives the soothing cold sensation and relaxes the mind. Here we are now in Chitray or monastery. It is considered as one of the oldest monastery in the entire region. Lies at an altitude of 8,040 feet. Beautiful, colorful old monastery takes the traveler to the historical era of peace and tradition. One could literally find the true feeling of the silence in the peaceful ambience of this monastery. The sacred carving on the stones of the monastery, the mantras of peace and harmony written all around, gives the essence of peace. The external structure of the building was established in 1850 by the Buddhist astrologer and monk Shokpo Sherab Gyatso, who was the head of the monastery until 1905. The beautifully decorated monastery is a worth visit when one could literally observe and find the peace of being in the laps of the Himalayas. Echoes of prayers could be felt with the colorful prayer flags fluttering due to the soothing wind. One would love to visit once again for sure, due to its pleasant, peaceful environment. Leaving the monastery behind, the trail leads to the Chitray village. Path to Chitray is quite steep from Manebhanjan, but the exertion is worth the pain when you will be greeted by the view of beautifully decorated village of Chitray and forever smiling warmth hospitality of the local villagers. After 3 kilometers, we are now in Chitray. Though it is foggy all around, but the ambience is really soothing and relaxing with the fresh smell of the nature. As soon as the sun sets, the temperature starts to decrease with the glittering lights all around from the huts of the villages. The millions of stars light up the night sky. Nothing is as beautiful as the sunrise in the Himalayas, where the morning is greeted with the chirpings of the beautiful birds. The chilling cold winds throw the challenge of the new start of the day, and reminds us for the challenge we must accept. Chitray, located at an altitude of 2,542 meters, is a small hamlet in the Singalila National Park, a hidden gem of Darjeeling Himalayas, which offers the peace and serenity in abundance. After Chitray, the next halting point or settlement is Tonglu. Paved trail leads to the motorable road, and then again one will have to take the pitched roads surrounded by the green lushes of bush and grasses all around. But definitely the mountain lovers would not want to walk on the pitched roads apart from the green fields. So the trekking trail is made by the side of the motorable trail, which is generally accessed by the trekkers. Leaving Chitray behind, it's time to move to Tumling. The greenery is all around. Grass, bushes, and the meadows not only relaxes the vision, but also gives the immense pleasure. While walking on the trails of Sandakphu Phalut, one could view many beautiful stupas, stone curves with peace mantras and prayer flags fluttering all around, which takes the mind to an ancient era of the ancestors, the era of monks, period of peace, harmony, and nirvana. With the soothing cold winds, the sounds of the rustling of the leaves, and to the far the ringing of the monastery bells, the legs put the steps on itself, for it has got the feel of exploring the land of peace, the land of harmony, heaven on the earth. With every steps, the human mind changes the conception of this wonderland. For every top we reach, we get the different view. With the rhythm of all the elements of the nature, why should the clouds will stay apart? With the mesmerizing ambience all around, clouds also starts to play with its floating colors. The flowers play an important role in this beautiful drama of the trails. They welcome the travelers with its beautiful blooming smile, which one may not resist to smile back. The trail to Sandakphu and Phalut offers the unique experience of walking in India and Nepal. It is such that the motorable roads are in India and the trekking trails are in Nepal. One could spot the small pillars and milestones marking the India and Nepal border. Well, it is the friendship and unity of two countries with their cultures. As it is said, some countries don't have border. After Chitray, the next breaking point is Lamedhura, which is about 4 kilometers from Chitray. And here it is, the Lamedhura, a beautiful tiny settlement with just a few tea shops and homestays, where travelers take a tea break during the journey. Surrounded by the green mountains and meadows, the Lamedhura takes a special place in the mind. After Lamedhura, The motorable path continues to Meghma, which is about 3 kilometers from here. One can get many shortcuts and stair trails in between the route, which is generally and mostly used for the trekkers. With every turns and every uphill steps, the greeneries get concentrated and dense. Through the meadow of green and fogs rising from beneath, surrounding all around with soothing cold wind, an extreme romantic ambience reminds of a modern Nepali song. जान्छ पहाडमा कुहिरोको बाटो तिमीलाई साथ लिएर यो हावा सरर उड्दैछ यो बादल लुकीचुपी गर्दैछ Feels like to be in a romantic mood with the mountains, be in love with the foggy trails, all in love with the cloudy environment and the chilling winds carrying the fragrance of the wet soil. Walking in the fog is one of the favorite things which all the mountain lovers could relate. It is almost like catching a glimpse of millions of angel wings, a mystical, magical feeling envelops the sense. And our heart images of standing mountains and peaks with pride and honor on its bright snowy deep, as imagined in those fairy tales. To the unknown far, unseen streams and waterfalls flowing down, the wonder of the veil of white underneath a clear blue sky. Here we are now in Meghma, a rural hamlet inside the Singalila National Park, lying at an altitude of 2600 meters in India-Nepal border. Meghma, as the name suggests, is covered with cloud most of the time. The trekkers are welcomed by the beautiful Meghma Gompa. Cloud is a magician here, which conceals and reveals the monastery. It is one of the prominent monasteries of the region. Meghma is also the junction point of two trails. One village trail could be seen in the left, which is the gateway and entrance of Maijogmai Rural Municipality, a village of Ilam district of Nepal. This trail leads to Tumling, which is also a village of Ilam district of Nepal. The village trail from Meghma to Tumling is entirely through Nepal. The decorations of the houses are amazing to observe. The source of income of people here are mostly dependent on the tourism and trekking activities, supported by agriculture. The trail from Meghma to Tumling is through the stone-paved village trail. The first part of the trail is moderate downhill slope, and the latter part is a bit moderate uphill slope. The entire trail through the meadows, keeping the villages of Nepal on the left side, is worth walking through. Hiking on this trail is a lifetime memory to hold, and one could just relax his body and it automatically moves forward for the astonishing feelings around, for the music created by the elements the soothing cold winds blowing through the twigs and branches of the trees, the green meadows with rustling leaves, and the play of the clouds. In Himalayas, the rising fog clears out all the stresses and tiredness. After some uphill climb, one reaches Tumling. Tumling, a small hamlet in Ilam district of Nepal, which shares the border with India, with no restrictions for Indians and Nepali citizens as well. Lying at an altitude of 9,600 feet, have a very few huts and cottages, beautifully built with wooden planks. The border between India and Nepal in this part is quite blurred, and there is a freeway for all. So you won't know when you are in Nepal and India, such that one having meals in Nepal and going to sleep in India. If the weather is clear all around, then one could get amazing view of Sleeping Buddha. It seems like a stone throwing distance from Tumling. Ah, the majestic Sleeping Buddha. Nothing in this world is as beautiful as the morning sunrise view on the majestic KhanchenDzonga range. The clouds beneath, with the cold chilling winds, throws the challenge to cope up with the fall in temperature. Fluttering of the prayer flags, and you witness the third highest peak of the world standing in front with pride. This view will definitely crush down the ego and pride of the human soul. This is what we thrive for. This is what we crave for. This is what we want to feel. For this is the moment to feel. To feel the change of contrasting colors. This is the moment to forget being yourself. This is the moment to feel the mountains. To witness the dramatic play of elements of the nature. From bluish to orange till yellow, and then finally white. The change in color of the gigantic snowy mountains cannot be described in the human words. This can be only felt and witnessed. Keep the memories in a special place of your heart and mind. The trail to Tonglu from Tumling is a bit steep uphill, but the amazing gigantic KhanchenDzonga provides some extra energy and pushes the body for its wide beauty. From the far, concrete roads look like a miniature form of Great Wall of China. Some travelers and trekkers often relate the structure of this road with the Great Wall of China. Smell the nature and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly. The the spotless blue color of the sky with chilling winds, and walking through the edge of the mountain road with white snow KhanchenDzonga on the left and white clouds beneath. Feels like we are flying like a bird on the mountains. We have been set free from the cage of life. We have been set free from the responsibilities. Have been given the freedom to feel the love of the nature, feel the love of Himalayas. The entire region receives a heavy snowfall during the winter months and looks like a wonderland on earth. KhanchenDzonga or KhanchenDzonga, with an elevation of 8,586 meters, lies in the border of Nepal and Sikkim Himalayas. This region or section where KhanchenDzonga lies is known as KhanchenDzonga Himal. Until 1852, it was assumed to be the highest peak of the world. But after various calculations and measurements made by the Great Trigonometrical Survey by Sir William Lambton and Sir Radhanath Shingar, came to conclusion that Mount Everest is the highest peak in the world. And in 1856, KhanchenDzonga was officially announced as the third highest peak of the world. Tonglu is one among those stunning spots in Singalila range and one of the higher peak of an altitude of 3030 meters. Quiet hamlet between Manebhanjan and Tumling. It is a perfect retreat to detox and view the mountains. It is just 1 kilometer before Tumling on the trails from Manebhanjan to Tumling. When rhododendrons and magnolias bloom, Tonglu turns into a riot of colors. A night in Tonglu makes the traveler mesmerized with the thousands of stars makes up for the pitch dark layout. The Tonglu top provides some mesmerizing views of sunrise, stunningly decorated by the fluttering Buddhist prayer flags and the chilling cold winds brings the heaven to earth. Panoramic view from here feels like standing on the top of clouds. Tonglu, though a beautiful place, doesn't have much accommodation options. Only options here is a GTA hut, operated by the government, and one private homestay. From Tonglu, one can trek down to Dhotrey through a beautiful subalpine forest. Trek back to Dhotrey in the morning through the subalpine forest is worth walking. Just a few meters downhill through the road, there is a gateway of entry to the Dhotrey forest. Many of the trekkers choose Dhotrey as the starting point of Sandakphu Phalut trek. The trail is entirely through the jungles comprising of big pine trees, chestnut trees, oak, birch and cedar. Walking through the beautiful trails is worth when clouds rises up like a curtain and embraces the human mind and body. It feels like standing forever with open arms just to receive the love and affection of the ambience. A different land on the planet Earth, where clouds float below your steps and sometimes comes to embrace you with affection, a touch of homely love. A land free from the smoke, a land free from cacophony, a land away from the concrete jungles, a land away from the city life civilization. The land where sun rises to show the colors of the nature. The land where positivity dominates over everything. The land of feel, peace, harmony. The trail from Tonglu to Dhotrey is entirely downhill. The first part is through the grasslands and meadows, and the last part of the trail is entirely through the forest. There is a flat meadow also known as Dhotrey camping ground, though camping and pitching tents are not allowed nowadays. Dense forest comprising of big pine trees, chestnut, oak, birch and cedar. Home of beautiful flowers like rhododendron, magnolia, orchids, and some wildflowers which are known as lokta and chima in Nepali language. During the months of April, the entire forest turns into beautiful colorful land due to the blooming of variety of colors of rhododendron and various wildflowers. Dhotrey forest is also home of various wild species like Asian black bear, red panda, white-bellied musk deer, and birds like chestnut-breasted partridge. The zigzag trails surrounded by the long pine trees, chestnut trees, and rhododendrons get covered with fog very often. As it is said, the change in weather is totally unpredictable. Football ground present there just at the beginning of the trail, where local football tournaments takes place, along with the local festival and cultural celebrations. As mentioned earlier, Dhotrey is also chosen at the starting point of the Sandakphu Phalut trek. Dhotrey is a small settlement lying at an altitude of 8,500 feet within the buffer zone of Singalila National Park in Darjeeling district. It is a paradise for trekkers, nature lovers and bird watchers. Altogether, there are 70 to 80 houses with population of around 300 people. Hinduism and Buddhism are the predominant religion followed by the people here. Stay updated with us. Press the bell icon for our next part for the entire trail of Sandakphu and Phalut, with some gigantic mesmerizing views of the highest peak of the world. Thank you.